Y ¿qué tal están, gente? Bienvenidos a un directo más en el canal. Y en el día de hoy vamos a continuar con la historia de este fantástico juego. Y para empezar, vamos a ver si podemos mejorar algún arma. Y luego vamos a hacer esta misión que tengo aquí preparado, que es la del instituto, que habla con los Sturges para ayudarnos a construir ¿cómo se llama? La radio, algo así, la emisora. No me acuerdo muy bien, pero algo así era. Y nada, antes de hacer todo esto que estoy diciendo, voy a verificar que se me escuche bien. Se me escucha muy bien. Vale, vamos a empezar. Primero vamos a ver qué hay acá. Que acabo de comprar envío de tornillo. Y quiero ver. Escopeta de combate, rifle de combate. 308. Cañón perforado. Loco de las armas.
Plenty of folks want to make life hard for people just trying to survive. Not
Venga.
that kind of shit.
De sniper no pone más nada, ¿verdad? 50.
World's always gonna have tyrants. Not in my way. A lot less. So you got a ride of choice? I usually a mentat school myself. Makes me feel intellectual.
Ok, esto ya está al máximo, la arma. La escopeta. Esta es la escopeta, ¿no?
You just say the word and I take a look. And break.
Con silenciador, que suena muy bien la escopeta con silenciadores.
Usually a mentat school myself. Makes me feel intellectual.
Está muy bien ahí. Que esto está al máximo. El sniper, que está buenísimo, mira. Piuf. Estamos mamadísimos. Bueno, la escopeta, a ver.
What are you shooting at?
Mira cómo suena. Que es hermoso. Bueno, vamos a empezar.
So you got a ride of choice? I'm usually a mentat school myself. Makes me feel intellectual.
Mentax. Hola,
Nothing I hate
Sturgis.
more than raider scumbags.
You can fix
If you
just
run
about
into any,
anything.
put a few down.
Guns, computers, people. Just gotta have the right tools.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Sí tiene.
Go.
Wow, what a mess. Looks like encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through. What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard, but, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining.
¿Lista la
Give
pieza?
me a list of what I'll need to build this platform.
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually... Keep in mind, I can already see this is going to take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
Uf. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? ¿Pero dónde? Ah, supongo que tiene que ser acá. ¿Y dónde está? Podemos construirlo aquí. Pero aquí yo quería hacer mi casa. Vamos a buscar otro lugar. Ahí quiero estar, quiero hacer ahí mi casa. Podríamos construirlo aquí mismo, ¿no? Yo creo que está muy desprotegido. Ahora vamos a construirlo aquí entonces. Ok. Volvemos con Sturgis.
There's no sport to spilling the blood of the person that
Hey, Sturgis.
for us, the Commonwealth provides.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Yeah. Ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it, here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Thanks, Sturgis. I'll get right.
Good deal. One thing to keep in mind while you're building this, it all needs to be wired together so all the pieces can talk to each other. I'll see you over at the building site. Good luck.
Uy. Espero que funcione. Ahora vamos a moverlo, eso sí. En aquí. Tengo que construir. La antena repetidora y el emisor de rayos. Otra cosa que era. ¿Qué no se pone acá? No. Entonces ponemos aquí. Y vamos a cerrar la antena aquí. Uy, de que 2, 20, 1. A ver, vamos a sumar. Acá tenemos 3, ya tenemos 8, 28 de energía necesitamos. ¿Qué generador hace 28 de energía? Produce 3, 10.
Just gotta make sure we've got enough power.
A la verga.
We'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid.
Mira esto. Pero tengo que ver si se ve todo bien. Pero esto es... Mira, mira. No, quería mudarlo, pero está perfecto aquí.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Primero
Shouldn't
por...
we test it first?
I wish we could, but we've only got the one frequency code. There's no way to test it without actually jacking into the Institute signal. And as soon as we do that, we've used our one and only chance. As soon as the Institute figures out what we did, and I gotta believe those brainiacs won't be caught napping twice, that code we've got is useless.
Let's do
Totally.
this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Whenever you're ready.
Gente, me espera un ratito, me voy al baño antes de hacer esto. Ya regreso, denme 5 minutos. Bien, ahí. Bueno, silencio y ya vengo. Ya estoy de vuelta, gente. Aquí. A ver, vamos a vamos a continuar. Ok, tenemos... No, no, todavía no estamos todos listos. Tenemos que llevar
Ready when you
comida.
are.
No,
Don't
comida no.
worry about it. Got you.
Algo para protegernos. A ver... Ayuda. Vamos a irnos preparados. Tenemos 46 estimulantes. Vamos a llevar más. Estimulante tampoco mucho. Voy a dejar 55. Lo llamo el bufo, que te da un bufo. Nos llamamos jets también. Pisito también nos llevamos unos 5, venga. Llevamos unos stealth boy. Tomamos vodka. Llevamos el XL este. Aquí... Filete de sanguinario. Nos llevamos 2. Creo que ya estamos.
Yes?
Ok. ¿Qué tenemos que hacer? Usar interceptor de
Everything
señal.
looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Todo
Let's do
listo.
this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an institute signal to lock onto.
Uh-huh.
Just get on the platform. I'll do the rest.
Amigo, ¿quién no me deja moverme?
Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And...
Bingo.
got it. Hold on to your butt.
¡Hey! ¿Podría ser este el fin del hombre araña? Ya, que Usa una Steel Boy. Venga, vamos a Steel Boy. Ayuda. ¿Cuánto dura eso? Acá me imagino que no habrá nada para lootear. Eso quiero pensar. ¿Qué tengo que hacer? ¿Por qué que no me dice nada que hacer? ¿Por los cinta? Carpetas. ¿Por los cinta? Exploración de red.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face.
Face to face.
Step into the elevator.
Broken.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression.
¿Podría decir el mapa? Al final sí estamos bajo el
Welcome to
sitio.
the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason.
For your
You
soul.
are here for your son.
Uy. Sean.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Buscándote.
Sean. I've been looking for you for so long.
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
¿Estás
Sean,
bien?
are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
It'll be okay, Sean. I'm here
I
now.
don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Sean, please, calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
What?
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus.
What?
Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Dame Sean.
Give me Sean. The real Sean.
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
Respuesta cabrón. Ayúdame a entender, vamos.
Help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have.
Acá venimos a buscar respuestas nada más.
This situation
Si podemos llamar a los niños, pues nos llevamos. Vamos a buscar respuestas acá.
traveled very far and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you. After all this, I am your son.
¿Cómo?
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
Uy.
To you, that would certainly seem true. But to the Institute, it made all the sense in the world. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being.
Creo que lo
I
entiendo.
see where this is going.
Then perhaps you already understand why it was necessary for the Institute to acquire me. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course, but it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland.
Ah, y él era el único niño que estaba.
Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
Tanto tiempo.
60 years. So much time. Wasted.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please, anything I can do to help you understand.
Instituto.
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
No importa.
It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother.
Mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? She was murdered.
Killed? Yes. Murdered? I'm not so sure. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. With old age comes regret.
Uh-huh.
But what matters now? What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
After what I've seen, I pity the man. He was as much a victim as anything.
After what he did to you, I'm shocked you would be so generous. But yes, I understand you've experienced things. Perhaps you ended up knowing him better. I, for one, will never... The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious... Institute technology prolonged his life, and his... He never failed the Institute. But he's... I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. I know there's more for us to discuss. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. Forgive me. I'd assume that after everything, I'm sure there is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself. A chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
Vale la pena.
Whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facility. And finally, Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them.
Mapa. ¿Qué podemos hacer? No te pella ahora. Ok, ¿y qué hago aquí? Datos. Conoce a los líderes de la división. Hay uno por aquí. Está apareciendo. Creo que es abajo. Puede ser por aquí. Porque aquí no hay nadie.
Call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
My apologies, sir. I was issued a defective cleansing
Welcome to the Institute,
Don't make excuses.
sir.
You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps that...
Buah, mira esto, chaval. No sé ni por dónde estoy yendo.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Aquí está el ascensor. Con dueño.
I'm not scared of the surface.
Well, hello.
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 You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he?
Nothing to report, sir.
That I intend to speak to Father about these
You seriously think you're heading over to robotics to knock some heads together?
What now?
They're dragging
Pardon
their
me,
feet
sir.
on the targeting package upgrades
You're
I
here.
asked for.
Glad you
Maybe I
made
should
it.
take some courses with me. I'm gonna send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
I know it'll be a
Doctor.
difficult adjustment
So,
for you, but try to
you
remember
are.
that synths
Justin
aren't
Ayo,
people.
acting director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Ningún problema.
Problems here.
Good to hear. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping, that matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
Okay.
Sir?
Carry on, sir.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life
Almost
to you.
done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh.
Doc.
I don't know.
They weren't kidding. You
Most
really
of them
are
have lasted
here.
long past
Well,
their
all right.
projected lifespans.
I'm Allie.
If you ask
Allie
me,
Fillmore.
they were
You can
built
think of
pretty
me
well.
as the when Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much. I think most people would have just...
Right.
If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Goodbye, then. I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to
Ok, vamos a ver otros. Por aquí parece ser. Sí es. Biociencia. Aquí no tendrá que estar el suero para el...
Dr. Holdren's Synth Gorilla project is showing promising results.
Gente, ya regreso. Es que mi gato quería entrar aquí. Nada más, pero ya estoy.
Imagine living on the surface. It sounds like a nightmare.
We're all looking
We have
forward
more
to
than
working.
enough to occupy ourselves here.
Hey, Doc.
There's still
Welcome.
people, and
So
there's
good to have you here. Dr. Clayton
least
Holdren,
admit that it's
head of the
regrettable.
Bioscience Division.
After all,
I can't wait
how
for you
can
to
we
see the
hope
work
to
we're doing.
redefine mankind
It's
if we
truly
can't even
amazing.
hold on to our own humanity?
Me interesa.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but I'd like to give it a try.
Great. I was hoping you'd say that. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer...
You mentioned medical care. I might need that.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. He's our top biologist, and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Ok. Que abren los casilleros. Ok. Bueno, vamos a ver el último.
The latest Synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
Operating at full capacity.
Sistema avanzado del instituto. Sí. Me imagino que se está practicando acá.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very...
No traeré.
I promise I won't get in your way.
Thank you, I do appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Parece innecesario.
Seems kind of unnecessary.
I assure you, it is necessary.
No.
The relay is the only access to
Sí,
the
sí,
surface
Tom.
that we possess. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now...
A ver. Instituto... ¿Qué es esto? Espera, un trofeo. Instituto completamente. Había 4, bueno, 5 opciones creo acá. Que eran destruir el instituto.
I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the child synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Atención de Synth. A ver, aquí había alguien practicando, vamos a hablar con él.
If you ask me, we're only scratching the surface with the latest synths.
Mira. Con su permiso.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
¿Por dónde se sale? Por aquí.
When are you going to tell me about this? Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge.
Que está ahí arriba. Creo que era por aquí o más arriba. A ver, acostate acá. Vení, acostate ahí. Vale. Acostate acá, acá, así. Muy bien. Okay.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible. It's amazing.
I'm glad you can appreciate what we've accomplished. None of it has been easy. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be the superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
If they're so dangerous, you should destroy them and start over with a better design.
There is no need for such drastic action. We are constantly working to correct any flaws that might arise. As you will soon see, we're also more than capable of reclaiming any synths that become a danger to the surface. A rogue synth has taken over the raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
We'll bring that synth home.
That would be best for everyone.
Sure.
Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger.
Ok, reúnete con el cazacintes. Uy. Vengamos a hacer la misión. Preston, ¿qué vas a cazar? Otra vez hay acá mutantes. No, no, no. Por aquí no. Así es. Pues nada, vamos a subir el... A ver cuánta capacidad de carga tenemos. 275, 25 más nos suben. Da mucho palo caminar hasta allá, pero bueno. No podemos... Creo que sí podemos cruzar, ¿no? Acá sí podemos cruzar. Venga, vamos a cruzar nadando. Ok, no me importa esto. Yay. Oh, joder, que explotó ahí. A ver, vamos a... ¿Por dónde? Por la derecha. Justo en nuestros puentes se están peleando. Nadie se... Tenemos que recuperar al Synth. Muy bien. Es el cadáver del mutante. Aquí está. No, este no es. Hay un mutante legendario, ¿no? Aquí. Bueno, no pasa nada. Otro centinela. Joder. Estaba duro. Ahora no convertimos en cazacintes. Ya tengo título para el directo, voy a cambiarlo después. Fuck. ¿Por qué están muy agresivos los robots? En este barco la vez pasada, bueno, ayer, no la vez pasada, ayer nomás fue, no encontré nuestra armadura, estaba completa. Y no hay más dinero acá.
How many bullets? I ain't letting you get shit.
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? No entiendo.
Mission accomplished.
Wait, what was that?
Search the area.
Thought I heard something. Target spotted.
Over here. For Elder Maxon.
Sloppy tactics, bad aim. This won't take long.
¿En serio me van a hacer matar a un caballero de la hermandad?
No mercy. Taking damage.
Over here! Over here!
No, 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 no. No, 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 me cago en la... Back. Sal de aquí. A ver, deja de pelear de ahí, háblame. Que estás peleando todo. A ver.
You should have given up.
A ver, vamos a pelear. Primero que nada voy a cargar el mando que se me está acabando la batería. A ver. Ya. Que deje de molestar. Que me... Otro pesado. Por aquí arriba, vale. Yo vine preparado para pelearme, pero al final no nos peleamos y nos unimos al instituto. Y está. Muñeca pesadito. Pesadito. Vení pesadito. Otro pesadito. Allá. Mira que gil. Qué pesado. A ver dónde está el pesadito este. Por allí ahora, ¿vale? Uy. Tranquilo, no pasa nada. Ok. Te le tiramos una granadita ahí. Más arriba. Uy. No, 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 me están tirando. No puedo, no puedo eso. A ver, vamos a correr. Ahora sí salgamos de acá rápido. Bien. Ok, podemos hablar ya con este señor. Bueno, señor. Con este casa Synth. Hola. Se cae el agua.
You call this a fight?
Que no me deja hablar ahora. Joder. A ver. A ver, a ver. Que salga del agua. ¿Qué tengo que hacer?
I'm already bored.
¿Por qué venir acá? ¿Cómo me vio si tengo silenciador? Casa Cinta, ya te paraste, por favor. ¿Te has parado? ¿Qué está nadando ahí? Se está dando un bañito. Sí, le tengo que esperar. Aquí está.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, sir. Designation X. I've already neutralized the perimeter guard. Just give the word, and we can start the assault on the main flotilla.
All right, let's go.
Right behind you, sir.
Ok, está ahí adentro. Joder, me caí eligiendo la escopeta. ¿Cómo llegamos hasta allí? Pues no tengo idea. ¿Por estos cables puede ser? Oh, 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 oh. No sé la técnica del GTA. ¡Ah!
Hiding from me? Gotcha. Now you're here. Hold on. Crazy. This is bullshit. Come on, fight!
Bien, aquí sale el Fatman. Venga, vamos a llevarnos su Fatman que la podemos vender. Hoy quiero irme a... digamos, un sitio a vender cosas. Luego de hacer esta misión. Y vamos a completar misiones también que... O sea, vamos a entregar misiones mejor. Camarote.
Hold up a moment, sir. There's something important I need to tell you.
I'm listening.
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, it'll reset his cognitive processes and make him docile. You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon. Once he's shut down, I can transport him safely back to the Institute.
Evitar violencia.
I'd like to avoid any unnecessary violence.
Worth trying it the easy way first, I guess.
Well, he might not be alone up there. Violence might be inevitable. That's all, sir. Ready when you are.
Yes.
Pretty handy with a bobby pin.
Terminal de Ah, este es el siguiente. Bien.
Sweet.
Well done. By your gear, I mean, right after you just likes me.
A ver, me voy a tomar agua.
Made it to the top. Is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
V592, initialize factory reset, authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
You okay? Gabriel, can you hear me? Shit, they did something to him. Take them out. What? What happened?
Nice work, sir. I'll take the same back. This is X688. Ready to relay with the service.
27, 27, 15. A ver. ¿Se fue? Ok, vamos. Trabajo interno. Vamos a darle la 200 Sturges. Yo soy tipo que estoy en todos los bandos posibles. Estoy con el instituto y también estoy con el otro, entonces le tengo que ayudar a ambos.
You ain't been up to see Grey Garden. You should go. Whole place is run by robots.
Sturges. Está dando un paseíto por aquí.
Hey. Here's that holotape you gave me. Full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
The Institute isn't our enemy, remember.
I know, but it never hurts to be prepared. Just in case they decide the Commonwealth isn't big enough for the both of us. All the good stuff on here is going to be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've...
Easy living, this ain't.
A ver. Bueno, podemos dejar ya los que tenemos, ¿no? Porque llevé muchísimas cosas aquí. En ayuda. Ok. Bueno. Nos curamos. Ok, estamos listos. Vamos a hacer otras misiones. Pueblo con el padre. Vamos a través de aquí. Ahora sabemos que el instituto no es el enemigo de la Commonwealth.
Do we really need all these coursers roaming the halls?
Can I turn off the interferometer?
No es por aquí. Ah, cuando el padre está arriba, creo. Uno más.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
Gabriel and his gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
While we can do nothing for Gabriel's victims, we can at least take comfort in the knowledge that the threat has been removed. But enough about that. The task is done. You've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and... Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Ok, vamos a ver. ¿Por abajo o por arriba? Me imagino que estará arriba, ¿no? Espero que esté arriba porque no quiero venir... Está un piso abajo, bien.
Your new quarters are here, sir. Your quarters are just inside, sir.
Ok. Adiós.
When
Claro.
you're here, sir, Father wants to. Standing by for orders.
Ok, ¿dónde está el suministro de armas? Aquí está. Un poquito... Bueno, es un regalo, la verdad.
All maintenance requests should be directed to the Facilities Division.
Volvemos con el padre.
Something about disappearing synths.
Scanning. Unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Hola.
Son,
Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
¿Qué se robaron?
that's a loaded question. What's been stolen from you?
Institute property is not often taken from us. We cannot react lightly when it happens. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt
Oui.
need to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
Tiene buena
They mean
intención.
well. They're only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these sins, and need to reacquire them before the railroad can hide them.
Where are the synths located?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill mine. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the railroad. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the Synth.
Joder, boludo, nos ponemos en contra de todos mis aliados.
I'll act quickly. You can count on me.
You'll have a contact waiting for you just outside.
Somos... Tenemos un poder muy grande aquí. A ver, ¿qué podemos hacer? Informamos al ferrocarril. Venga, vamos a informarle al ferrocarril. No hace falta. A la hermandad no hace falta, pero al ferrocarril sí. ¿Dónde está el ferrocarril? Aquí. Vamos a convencerles de que no busquen más.
I just heard the most fascinating rumor. The story goes that you actually found the Institute. Been there and back again. Sounds crazy, right?
It's all true.
Deacon says you used teleportation. I can't imagine. You must feel justifiably proud of what your Minutemen have achieved in such a short time. Eventually, the Minutemen will devise their own plan to deal with the Institute. But I doubt your soldiers will place any priority. I'm counting on you being as passionate about freeing synths as we...
I'll stick with my people in the Minutemen.
Of course I'm disappointed. But hopefully in time you'll come around. The fate of the synths depends on it.
Desdemona.
Please, work with us instead of the Minutemen. The lives of many synths are at stake.
You think the Minutemen won't help the synths?
The Minutemen are a reflection of the and time again, that the synths are tangible receptacles of their hatred of the Institute. Order them to...
I don't know.
Take your time. Think it over.
Pero los Synths... No. Venga, ya. No me deja explicarles que los Synths son... O sea, son robots, no son humanos. Así que solo vamos a atacar y ya. A ver qué pasará. Quiere evitar que un enemigo huya y destrozarle las piernas. Este es el uniforme de Preston, ¿no? Creo que sí.
Good sight lines, plenty of hard cover. Whoever set this up knew what they were doing.
¿Y por qué tiene esto?
What do you need? Okay, this is what I've got.
No. No, a ver. Ahí. Para que haga más daño. O sea, para que resista más daño. ¿Dónde está el Bunker Hill?
X4.
I've been waiting for you.
Sorry to have held you up.
Try and keep up from here out. Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back.
No tengo nada.
I'm gonna need some of your grenades.
Go and shoot.
Hand them over.
Requesting backup relay now.
Hey, Synth.
Find and secure the synths.
Bunker Hill. Que me peta el... Que me peta el play, que me peta. Lo siento mucho, pero intenté avisarles y no me dejó. No me dejó decirle que no ataquen. Mira cómo... Se lió una acá. Se ha liado una acá. Mira un poco, todos mis aliados están pegando entre ellos. A ver, quiero ver si se puede rodear esta zona para entrar por alguna parte. Hello. Tiene un rifle Gauss. Vámonos, rápido. Están peleando ahí ellos. ¿Por dónde es? ¿Por dónde sería? Por allá. ¿Cómo llego hasta allá? ¿Cómo se llega hasta allá? ¿Puede ser por ahí? Con permiso. Yo como soy aliado no me dispara nadie, ¿sabes?
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus. All right, Synth.
Please.
C322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus.
Ok, salgamos de aquí. Oye, ¿por qué no carga esto? Ahora sí, vámonos. Uf, por fin. Nos alejamos de los bajones de FPS. Y aquí está el padre.
Sean.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
Solía ser diferente.
Always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They kept me alive, too.
They did, indeed. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else. Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me. Would you, after all this time, attempt to find me?
Claro, no paramos de buscarte. O sea,
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The Synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
There's always a risk. It was worth it.
I'm glad you see it that way. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. It's time to go back in.
Has llegado a nivel 40. Tenemos un nivel más. Este ofertachón. $300. Como que llevo muchas cosas. Tengo 300. A ver, vamos a asistir a su discurso o algo así era, no me acuerdo. O sea, no es que no me acuerdo, sino que no leí bien. Y lo dejaré hasta aquí. Primero vamos a escuchar lo que dice. La reunión.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
Imagino que están arriba. Así es.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
Sean.
Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important.
Ok, ¿dónde va la reunión? Ah, aquí. Yo me siento aquí.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present...
Hey!
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about phase 3? Of course,
Claro.
really. Well, there's no shame in being out of the loop, as it were. The project has been classified for quite a long time. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
In this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings, that time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayer. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yeah? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
There must be something we can do to help you.
The only thing that matters now is continuing the Institute's work. It will be all right. I assure you, we can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father
No,
as my
somos
successor.
Oh, boy. You can't be serious.
Really? Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
My compliments on getting V592 back to us, Sigmund.
Dr. Ayo.
You're going to...
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Fua. Más producción.
I have every confidence you'll make a fine director.
Dr. Holdren.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you're here.
Ay. Nuestro hijo nos vio con cara de líder.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to many of us.
Ok. Espero no equivocarme en las decisiones que tomen, si es que... A ver qué hay por aquí.
All systems nominal.
Por arriba, ¿no? Sí, ahí está. Hola.
Dr. Fillmore.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busy. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go over the details. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
Uy. No. Ya se acabó lo de ser chivatos con el otro. Bueno, vamos a dejarlo hasta aquí, gente. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Nos vemos posiblemente pasado mañana. Así que nada, que tengan un buen día. Muchas gracias por estar y bye.